Good morning. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Sorry I'm late. I went live, but left the whole thing on private, so I had to start all over. But hello. Hello. Linda, Jeremiah, Rachel, Aaron, Akicha. Hello. Hello. Morning, Kat. How are you guys doing today? Hope everyone's coming tonight. Me too. Me too. Be the first time I've ever done a premiere, so I'll be interested to see how it goes. Hope it's cooler today. I hate this weather. Good morning, Shell. Good morning, Maureen. It's supposed to be warm here for the next 2 days and then cool down. I don't know what it's going to be like in Jersey, but yeah, it's already 75 here. It's going to hit 84 and then 90s tomorrow, but then we're going to be in like the upper 60s, low 70s for a few days, which will be nice. Just got my family tickets to the Mandalorian film. Heck yeah. Yippee, yippee skippy. Hey, Summer. Just had to go batten down the hatches. Storm is coming. Another one? Didn't you guys just deal with one? Been watching a storm chaser that streams. It's been a great year. So for that, great year. That's what she said. Random little blip that came out of nowhere, but she's coming hard and fast. Did you see a District 11? Yep. Yeah. Called it in 9 minutes. I used to watch Storm Chasers a lot. Just don't have time. Which is sad, but true. Kansas City had 3 tornadoes in one day with no warning. Yeah, I saw the report on that. It was so nice of this administration to get rid of the people that may have been able to warn them. Opened up the boundary waters up here for copper mining. Minnesotans are furious, and so you should be. And so you should be. Morning, Courtney. Anyone got anything fun going on this weekend? I think I'm just doing more work outside. Which, blah. Because it's going to be hot tomorrow. But not to mention there's nothing to mow here yet. I wish there was nothing to mow here yet. Packing up my daughter so she can move out in 2 weeks. Is that a good thing? A sad thing? I'm trying to figure out what kind of a thing that is. Birthday cookout. Nice. Nice. Our last frost date is May 25th, zone 4B. Yep. I can send you our cold if you want. It was 71 yesterday, then today is like 29. Dang. Yes, very good. She starts Columbia School of Engineering Masters. Heck yeah. Well, congratulations to her. Nope, just getting things ready for a funeral on Monday. It's out of town. Ugh. It's and who here smacked their head when we found out that that our Secretary of Defense was quoting Pulp Fiction during a church service. Oh, hey, Shawnee. Taking your kid to get his graduation clothes. Heck yeah. They're all dumb. They're all dumb. Oh, SNL couldn't write. And that's the crazy thing. That's the crazy thing is this isn't new, especially for MAGA. For years now, MAGA politicians, they've made a joke that the crazy stuff they said, people couldn't tell the difference between that and an SNL skit. And they've actually like tested it. And every time people think that it's an SNL skit, and they're like, no, they really said it. I think Jimmy Kimmel did it once with Lauren Boebert. Can't wait to see what SNL does with this. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be SNL is going to make a comeback thanks to this administration. I think AI is president. I think half the things they write are. I wouldn't be surprised if Heg's breath goes into like Chat GPT and is like, write this thing that makes me sound tough and alpha, but is also a church prayer, and that's what it pumped out. Would not surprise me one bit. They're putting The Onion out of work. Yeah. Yeah. Like The Onion, have you noticed that like places like The Onion have to be careful because their stuff is being reported as real? Like, it would not surprise me if they really are putting The Onion out of work. But not because of what they're saying, but because how batshit crazy our country has become when it comes to believing things they see on the internet. I wrote a 3.5-page essay this morning for Deborah Ross without AI. Imagine if the government could do the same. Republican cult tries to use God as the ultimate bully. They try and use anything humanly possible as a bully. But yes, I agree. It's wild. It's wild that we live in this world. I wonder if this will bring what TikTok will be like with this in there. Did you see the EO that would require banks to check for citizenship? I did not. That's dumb. Why can people without citizenship not have a bank account? Oh, they're just trying to find illegal. Gotcha. Yeah, never mind. Never mind. Answer my own question. Can you imagine if the National Enquirer was still a thing? With this admin, they would be in the press briefings, probably. TMZ opened an office in DC and are asking harder questions than NBC and CBS. What timeline is this? Seriously. Yeah, it's a whacked out timeline. I don't. Yeah, so we did that for my daughter. It was kind of crazy what they required. And he said that banks everywhere, even before this, have really ramped up their requirements, like for getting a bank account for the first time. Once you have a bank account, life is easier, but yeah, banks are getting really weird. Can we hit the ethereal reset button? Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if I'm not holding my breath, but when I opened my bank account, we didn't have photo ID. We just filled out a form with your info, and that was it. I've been using the same bank since 1982. Yep. Yep. Everyone tried to do that, banks would just shut down and not give us our money, unfortunately. But yes, it's pretty bad. Every dollar you put in there has probably been lended out about 100 times over. We'll see how this works today. Feeling gonna bring some people, some people all in their feels. Well, I mean, I guess it helps that we make almost no interest in banks right now. But yep. What happens when banks have shareholders too? You know, Kat, I wish, while I don't believe we're going to get there, I wish I could completely deny that fear with this administration, and I can't. You're going to be pissed all day. It's okay, Shawnee. Yep, it's doing about what I thought it would do over there. Hey, Emmeline. Good morning, meme. Good morning, OC. Happy Friday, everybody. Every state is having education funding problems. Hey, Heidi. It's a Friday. What are you doing here? Hey, Bobia. Guys, Heidi Sinsley is running for North Carolina State House. If you are in North Carolina, you should go support her because she is in District 69. Just got here. No, I'm not. I have a wife that I've been married to for over 20 years. But, you know. I don't, not even in North Carolina, and I now support. Heck yeah. Hey, if you could get a nickel for every time, Heidi, it would completely fund your campaign. Hi from UK, same shit, different day. Yep. Who am I following? Heidi Sinsley. Here, I'll pin her. I'll pin her. Pin her. Just interviewed her yesterday, so her stuff's gonna go up a little bit later. Oh, I bet it's 62 individual men, 62 million individual men. It wouldn't surprise me at this point. Good morning. Where is District 69? Union County, so south of Mecklenburg. I technically never said 62 different men visited. I just said 62 million men, and that is true. And it is a massive problem. And men need to get their shit together before we can be in charge of things. How do I not mean it? Because do I say it? So you're saying because that's how you read it, that must mean what I meant? That's how English works? No, English works in that we can make up words and decide what they mean. That's how language works. Hey, Flamingo. That was exposed about 5 years ago. Guy was prosecuted in France. Surprise it took CNN so long to do the expose. I'm not surprised, Kat. Not surprised at all. What's realistic? How many men? How many men is it? You don't know that. You're assuming that. And there are easily probably 62 million men in the world, if not the country, that are far too close to that. Dude, why are you so obsessed with hot dogs? Morning, Lori. Because I'm not following logic all the way through. You're not following logic all the way through. The logic is millions of men visited this site. No, women. Women. You haven't heard me say anything yet that makes sense. No. See, when you start going into trying to go into a specific number, that's you not being serious about the conversation. This month, they're up to 82 million unique visitors. Because men have shown that they are not capable of being leaders. Just absolutely wretched human beings that don't care about people as a whole. We haven't earned the right to be leaders in this country anymore. We've been in charge for 250 years, and the country has gone to shit. Especially men that look like me. How old do you think I am, Bill? How old do you think I am? I am 47. War on mask and common sense? No, the men are the problem. There's no war on men. And you think I know the world? Yes. Yep. Men are the emotional ones. Men are massively the emotional ones. So after 47 years, you know what to do. More than you? Yes. Yep. Oh, I think white men are a majority of the problem. But I think there is a problem with what men are being taught in this country and in the world that we've got to work through no matter the color of our skin. But I do think that a vast majority of the problem is men that look like me. Running out of things to talk about? No. So how long is the world been around? A long time. No, I don't moisturize. Men are very soft. I would agree. Most men shouldn't lead anything. I agree. Morning, Stu. Well, Shell, I did get all in their feels with my statements, so that was easy. Uh-huh. All right. Oh, men get insanely emotional. Dangerously emotional. That's the problem. Or one of many problems. Yep. For all the people that care in chat, especially about women in leadership, tonight on the Tube, I'm doing a premiere episode where I interview Jasmine Thomas. She's running for Senate in Oklahoma. And we talk about women in leadership, and we talk about a bunch of other things going on. If you're interested, at 7:30 Eastern time. All right, Frank. I'm a beta male.
You're a beta male. Hey, everybody. Did you hear Frank? He said I'm a beta male. I'm a beta. B-A-T-A. You heard it. You heard it. So misleading. That article monitored traffic to a popular. Yeah. I love it when men come and show their true colors by trying to pretend like it's not a problem.
Oh, big mad, Ambrosia. Big mad. It's kind of funny, actually. I bet Frank really thinks he's an alpha. Sure does. Bless your hearts. Oh, men absolutely get more offended and booty hurt. Absolutely. Absolutely. Jordan, if that's the only thing that is preventing you from having a real conversation about this, then you don't really want to have a conversation about this. So, hey, James. You found your peeps. Well, we're glad you're here. But yes, if you're over here on TikTok, please go over and follow on the Tube, especially for this premiere tonight. But also, I am literally posting every single day interviews with progressive grassroots candidates that are running for office. please go and watch and support these people that could really use your help. God forbid we use our brains. Yep. Proud mom moment. My son heard about this and his first response was, what the fuck is wrong with those guys? Yep. Yep. My first response was to want to throw up, but also not, unfortunately, after everything that I have learned, not be surprised. It makes me happy that I was never consistently around men with a worldview like that taught me something like that, but also really disgusted that good news, articles of impeachment on Hegseth have been filed. Good new people. There's a lot of amazing people running for office for the 2026 midterms. Yes. All right, Cadillac. Whew. Thank you. You only say this because it help you pull women. Wow, my wife of 20 years would be surprised to hear you say that.
Got him.
You know what my wife would say? Why the hell do you care whether it's 62 million men or 62 million visits? I know what she would say. These tech platforms should be held accountable and release the details. Protection over privacy, 100%. Hey, Wendy. Takes me back into that bear and takes me back to that bear in the woods question. Yep. Oh, I understand, Jordan, that you are obsessed with it. But also understand that this is called social media. So I do appreciate you coming in and helping with the algorithm. Thank you for that. It's like when I misspelled a word and everyone came in and be like, you know, you misspelled it. You sound like one of the 62 million if you argue about men and visits. Correct, Tom. Bada. That's right. Oh, man. What is this 62 million conversation? So CNN, I think it was CNN, released a story about a absolutely deplorable site that involved doing things to women that I can't talk about here. And millions upon millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of men visited that site. Your misspelling was top tier rage bait. Yeah. In 1 month, right. In 1 month. Yes, it is allowed to exist on the web. It was quite disgraceful. Yes, Rosa, 1 month. That's what I heard, Tapati, that it was more in March. I was a little lost too. Googled 62 million men and immediately understood I have no words. Yep. And this is just one we know of. Correct, Moto Girl. That is the other problem. This is just one that we know of. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I mean, you can look up CNN report with 62 million men and it'll pop up right away. I don't remember the name off the top of my head. I don't know if it used to be on the dark web, but it's pretty sad that it's out in the real world now. Yep, it's very sad that we've gotten to that point. Remember the signal chat of 70K men? Yes, unfortunately I do, Rosa. I wish more men called it out, Cindy. And people wonder why you picked the bear. Yep. Yeah, Shell. It's really disturbing. It's really disturbing. As a girl dad ×3, nobody better never hurt my baby's big troubles. Wait.
It's sad. Grown men sit on TikTok all day complaining about a guy that was elected.
Was listening to the radio today in Tampa, and they were talking about how the WND NBA players love life. What do you mean? Oh, pro-life. Or I'm confused. No. Their love lives. Gotcha. Their players love lives. Gotcha. Yes, and they wouldn't be asking the men that. Yep. So Colby, CNN put out a report that talking about a website that in 1 month had over 62 million views. And it's got some of the most disgusting things you can possibly imagine. Things that I cannot talk about on this app. My ads are not working today. I've had to restart this 3 times so far. Oh, great. Wonderful. That is just great. No. I don't know you. Women have found out because they've seen themselves on video. It can be pretty bad, Colby. Yeah, Moto Girl. Men are the emotional wrecks, Joe. Men are the emotional wrecks. Men destroy lives when they get emotional. Maybe if more men learned how to cry, the world would be a better place. Or if men would let women lead. True, as well. That is correct too, Christine. That number is 83 million. Yes. Yeah, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Yep. Yeah, I'll be in the chat and we'll all be watching the episode. But I also go live over on the tube at the same time and I post a bunch of stuff, so. Yeah. No, no, leadership of this country. Blue. Men should do the housework. Be good for them. Maybe teach them to stop whining so much. Women have to keep working and doing things while their body literally expels a part of it every month and they still function fine. Are you telling someone to stop whining? Yeah. Men. Telling men to stop whining. We vote for the lesser of two evils because most people don't come out and vote in the primaries. Only 25% of the country vote in the primaries. And that's when you pick the people. So a very small amount of our country. Mine's one of the good ones. He works hard every day to make this world a better place for me and our kiddo and women like us. And again, I'm not saying there aren't good men in the world. I'd like to think I'm one of the good men, but yep. I agree. We need to follow Hungry. I know. I'm just saying. I'm reading the comments and I just respond when I want to. My wife is definitely the smarter one of the two of us. I would definitely make her in charge. Time to go bowling with your son. Have fun. Good luck. Why? Because men have shown that they don't have the capability of running the country. Not only are men in general the cause of almost all of the problems that we're dealing with, they have shown to lack humanity. Again, not all, but in general. We've not shown it enough to be able to continue thinking of ourselves the way so many think of men. It's a global issue. Oh, I understand it's a global issue. 100% understand it's a global issue. Modern wars have been started by men. Yep. And look at our Secretary of Defense who's quoting Pulp Fiction like it's a Bible verse. Leadership is about mentality, not necessarily gender. Necessarily correct. But until men can get their shit together as a whole, if I were a woman, I would never trust most men. Men got to get their shit together first. The way I always put it is until a woman can walk by a man every time and not question whether or not they're going to do something dangerous, sexist, misogynist, or just disgusting, we've got work to do. Do I think women would have come up with our form of a republic? I think women would have come up with a better form of government. What's better than what we have? A lot. A lot is so much better than what we have. Oh my gosh. Well, one where actually all people get rights, respect, dignity, and safety, no matter your race, religion, gender, or identity. One where you can actually get a livable wage. You can get free healthcare. Not free. You can get universal healthcare. You can get free education. But the Dow is at 50K. I know, Philip. I know. Tufu. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yesterday, the new president of Hungary went on state TV, ran an ad, broke the news that he was shutting them down. The host melted. It was classic. Hell yeah. How's the fishing for views and comments going? Great. Thank you for asking, Kicho. Getting a storm right now? Thank you. I can't see what any of these things say. Women fight so much differently and think so much differently than men. In general, that's not always the case, but in general, yeah. Yep. Oh, they absolutely would crush it. I mean, again, look how, if you look at the reason why men are struggling so much in general, it's because men cannot adjust to the new realities of the world, where they're not only having to compete with other men for things, but they're also having to compete with women for things. Shawnee, I don't know. When will this country wake up? I think it's in the process. Loss of privilege feels like oppression. Yep. That is a universal problem, but definitely men are definitely going through it right now, for sure. What woman would you like to see? Question mark. That is a very general question. Who's going to lead? Women. All right, Peyton. You got me. Why? Because men are too emotional. Mm. 95% of them were just curious of the website. No. No. Men are emotional, and men are dangerously emotional. Uh-huh. Sure. All right. When your youngest son's mom tried to stab you while she was having a breakdown, emotion. I know you think you're making a point here, Joshua, but I'm sitting here going, how horrible of a person did you have to be to get your youngest son's mom to do that? I don't think that's the gotcha you think it is, dude. Oh my gosh. Uh-huh. All right, Major. The Strait of Hormuz is not open. "12 tankers going through it a day is not open, William." No, it's not. "100 just fueled up yesterday." Sure it did. Okay. All right. In the last 24 hours, 3 ships have transited the Strait of Hormuz. According to Politico, it's an opening for commercial use that cites both Iran and U.S. officials, but it is a temp solution to see if Israel holds up to the ceasefire in Lebanon. Yes, Carla, a lot. What is the solution? We need to learn how to survive, how to live in this new society. The Gulf of America? There is no Gulf of America. For anyone that does that kind of stuff, yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right, Bazinga. Uh, nope. It wasn't changed to the Gulf of America. An executive order is not law.
An executive order is not law. It's not law. It's not law.
I heard, Kat, that there's rumblings that might be true about Spirit Airlines being bankrupt and shutting down. Yeah. I don't care where they said it. An executive order is not law. It is still the Gulf of Mexico. It didn't actually change. Why are Democrats always so for equal rights but not for Americans? I'm for equal rights for all people. No, it's not. It's the Gulf of Mexico. Again, executive orders aren't law. Mr. Golba, an interesting TikTok on how the U.S. keeps overselling its diesel, leaving our supply purposefully low and diesel more expensive, which leads to higher costs of goods. Yep. Imagine changing the names and wasting millions of taxpayer dollars. That's all this administration knows how to do, is waste taxpayer dollars. Get another C- for spelling today. You're good. We have over 150 barrels, which will drive prices down. No, it won't. No, it won't. Prices are not going to go down. Hey, Sibirio. How you doing, man? They coerce people to go their way. How do I figure prices won't go down? You guys want to change everything. Literally everything changes. Always. No, we aren't selling anything. Our country is great the way it is. Disagree wholeheartedly. Hey, Eleanor. Hi, Carla. Leave then? Why? You think the only reason to stay in a country is because you think it's currently great and it always has been? That we as a country should never try and change things to make it better if we don't agree that it's good? What planet are you on? You think we should run things exactly the way we did 250 years ago? Hey, Kelsey. We haven't. Of course we have. We've changed drastically. There is literally nothing that is the same as it was 250 years ago. There are certainly a lot of people trying to get into this terrible place. So, a place being better than another place does not mean that the place they are going to is great and cannot get better. Two things can be true at the same time. Our Constitution and amendments have not really changed. Amendments are change. Your own place? My own place is the United States. Talking about people coming here. I don't know. You'll have to ask them, EPP. Have to ask them. There is better quality of life in many other countries. Yep. I agree, Deb. All leadership. We need to get rid of the 19th and 14th Amendment. Oh my gosh. That's why the whole world does not want to come here. What kind of men shouldn't be in leadership? At this moment in time, all. And I truly believe that. I think in order to make change, you oftentimes need to sometimes you need to do drastic things. And that does not mean that as time goes on, men can't be trusted to be in leadership again. But I think right now, I don't think we can. We have a lot of border control for a country that no one wants to come to. All right, EPP. Good for you. Did it work? Did she see this? Who did who see what? Just saying. Yeah, you're just saying. That's all you're doing is just saying. Again, two things can be true at the same time. We can be better than there can be countries worse than us and still us not be good. Definitely not great. Then why are you here? Because I was born here. What kind of a dumb question is that? USA is the best country in the world. We are not the best country in the world, and we definitely don't have the best economy. Only people coming here are fleeing very horrible places. Even people from Mexico rarely come here anymore, and basically no one from Canada is itching to go here permanently. Yep. We have the highest GDP. GDP does not make an economy good. Everyone doesn't want to come here. And again, we can be better than some countries, but then worse than others. What countries do you think are better? Most of the countries in the EU. Did I impress her? Press who? My wife of 20 years? Yes. Yep. I absolutely impressed her. EU is stagnating. Sure it is. Yes, the president in Mexico just announced universal health care. Yep. GDP of EU is less than US despite EU having more people. So, universal health care is absolutely a good thing. It's a great thing. Not having a middleman who decides what kind of health care we get, not having our health care tied to our place of work, a great thing. Say exactly, Connor. Wonder if we'll ever get it. I think we will. How long it will take in our lifetime, that's a different question. Universal health care is just funded by our taxes. Normal health care is just funded by ourselves and our businesses. Healthcare should be reformed but not universal. Disagree. Someone's health should not be a commodity. That should be a right for all people. The idea that you think that certain people deserve better to be more healthy than others is kind of ridiculous. Just go be a doc. You think doctors would be doing their work for free in a universal healthcare system? What kind of a dumb statement is that? You think doctors don't get paid? It's a Shure SM7B. I'm 25. Do you think it would happen in your lifetime? I mean, I think there are some things that would have to happen for it to happen, but sure, Han, I think it could. Sounds crisp. It better be. That's just exactly why we are in the situation we're in. Dumb statements like that. Uh-huh. Okay. I'd rather fund for universal health care than a war. Me too. Most countries that have universal health care is funded by the middle class and not the rich. That's because of bad tax policies, not because of a problem with universal health care. Okay. Gotcha, C8. I mean, I would absolutely love to have healthcare right now and not have to have stopped taking some of my medication. Exactly, Jen. No, I don't know you. Healthcare is messed up for a lot of reasons. Insurance companies are one of them. Sure. That's why you go for a universal single payer healthcare system. Healthcare should be driven by market and insurance only for catastrophic incidents. Insurance bloats prices. No, insurance doesn't bloat prices. Yes, they do. Not insurance by its very nature doesn't. The fact that a company that has stockholders and can decide what what it will cover and what it won't, and then the actual increased cost of care is what bloats prices. Thank you, Ghost. LASIK surgery is not covered by insurance, yet the price of it keeps falling. Okay. After my father passed, looked at the hospital bill, they charged $65 for one Tylenol. Yeah. That's because of the way the whole insurance system was allowed to work. Yep. Which we wouldn't be dealing with if we had universal single payer healthcare system. For-profit insurance companies and multi-point of service monopolies are the culprits. They are definitely a problem, yeah. more customers you bring to the table, the better deal you can cut. When insurance covers day-to-day medical expenses, demand goes up by a lot. People's health is not a supply and demand thing, MM. That's the part you're not getting. People's health should be a right for all people. It's the fact that you are looking at people's health as from a business perspective. It's not. The fact that we look at healthcare as just another product to be sold, sad. True. I agree, Connor. Then what do you plan to do if demand goes over 500? You build more hospitals. You think the demand stops just because a hospital can only serve a limited capacity? No. Somehow we have this idea that in the US, that capitalism is the best solution for the delivery. Yeah. Correct, C8. It's the insurance company's problem, not the hospital's problem. Capitalism is the reason you're doing this live. No. No, it's not. Actually. I mean, it is, but not in the way you're trying to argue it. And yeah, I can accept capitalism can have a place in society, but not in every place in society. Governments face no competition and therefore have no incentive to be efficient, hence costs explode. That's not true. They do have incentive to be efficient if we as a society and as a voter base actually take our jobs seriously as voters. I never said governments are so efficient. You obviously didn't hear what I said. We don't vote. As a country, we do not vote. Only 25% of the country votes in primaries. And on a good year, 60% of the country votes in a presidential election. Around 50% vote in a midterm election. And around 30 to 40% vote in off year and local elections. So no, we don't vote. If you are an incumbent, you have a 95% chance of winning in your primary. Do you believe in capitalism aside from healthcare, or do you not believe in it at all? Believe in it? You mean you asking if I think it's a good thing? If I could create my own society, capitalism would not be a thing. I am okay with the idea of capitalism in very minimal spaces of society, though. I think anything that should be an inalienable right of human beings should not be under capitalism. I think we should have a minimum wage that's connected to the cost of living. I think we should have universal health care. I think we should have free education. I think we should tax each other. I don't think there should be rich people, at least not to the rich that we're talking about. That we're dealing with today. You believe in socialism? I believe in some socialism. And again, we're not talking about you're still pro-capitalist. Okay. Not really. Again, we're talking about the society that I would make look different than what I'm talking about. But we're not going to just make the society that I want. There's too much to fight against. Go to your Indian reservation and see how well socialism works. Oh my gosh, Kevin, grow up. That's a dumbass statement. No, minimum wage increases do not cause unemployment long term. They would right now because we have not increased cost. We haven't increased wages with cost of living. Socialism does not go against the Constitution. Higher wages make employees more likely to stay. It allows them to actually buy things. Cost of living does not go up when governments cause inflation. That can be it, but cost of living goes up when businesses cause inflation. No, it doesn't, Kevin. Healthcare is not free, Redmond. Universal healthcare, yes. Free? There's no such thing. Socialism does not take away life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Also, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is not in the Constitution. Why do you want other people to pay for your education? Educating people helps society. A better society helps all of us. Why do you not want a better society? All women can run a country better than probably most men right now. You don't care, NMAC. Capitalism is not the greatest gift to mankind. Ah! No, socialism does not go against American values. If you want to make his head explode, talk about unions? Seriously. Unless MM, what you mean by American values is the top like 10% should have pretty much everything, and the people at the bottom should just be able to barely survive. If that what you consider American values. Why do you think it's hating on all men to say that men don't deserve to be in leadership right now because of what we have done in the world? Of course it does. Wealth is absolutely a zero-sum limited game. Capitalism, by its very nature, requires there to be people that have basically nothing, so the people at the top can have everything. You don't even know what communism is, so don't ask that question. As long as women have big balls like Margaret Thatcher, you'd be okay with it. There you go. Yeah, I know, Goddess. We wouldn't be as rich of a society. As a society, we aren't rich. That's the part you don't get. Societally, we aren't rich. A majority of the country is poor. What is considered rich? I mean, that's a good question. Yeah, see, when you take the median, you're ignoring the fact of how much wealth the people at the top have. And 70K doesn't mean anything if the cost of living is like 100K. Society does work and doesn't know how to work. Oh, society knows how to work. Man, y'all are in your feelings today. All depends on who you're talking to. If you have $1,009 and someone is homeless, you're rich. Yep. One could argue 100K is barely making it, depending on where you're at. Yep. The subjective answer, but sure as hell shouldn't have 500 billionaires. Yes, correct. Nobody needs $1 billion. There is no purpose for a billionaire in the world, ever, for any reason. Yeah, Ghost, depending on where you are, 100K is barely making it. Even you are lazy. All right, Kevin. Let's see your hands. Ah, ah. Oh, that was funny. Would I take it? If I woke up and found a rich uncle left me 100 mil, would I take it? Yes. Hopefully, what I would do is give away most of it, because that is what I would want to do. But I also know that the more money people have, the more likely people are to almost like fear losing it. So you don't even know what socialism is, MM. Hi, Heidi. Everyone says that, but greed takes over. You can't say everyone says that, but greed takes over. Very few people experience that that situation. So you can't really say that everyone experiences that, because a vast, vast majority don't. What's up, Shug? No, socialism is not when the government owns the means of production. Its definition changes constantly? No, a definition by its very nature cannot change. How people interpret the definition can. There is no pure socialism, really. Pure socialism doesn't exist in any country. How convenient? It's not convenient, it's reality. You can still define things. Oh, don't apologize, Suge. It's all good. You have a trust? I mean, that's awesome that you have a trust, Jinxie. Right now, I'm just trying to survive. I would love this to be a full-time job, and I would love to hire tons and tons of people and have us all make living wages. That is my goal. My goal is not to make a ton of money. My goal is to have enough to pay my bills. Mao China was fully communist? Okay. Sure it was. I doubt it was. A pure communist country also has never existed either. Correct. Focus on discussion and brainstorming, not how to trip me up. Thank you, Moto Girl. There is no such thing as living wage. You get paid according to your value created. False. False. All jobs have value if they do something in society. Every job has value, and every job deserves a living wage. You should be able to afford a house and food and all the other necessities of life on a full-time job, no matter what it is. No matter whether you are a cashier at a grocery store or an engineer, because they are all necessary. Yeah, I know, Deborah. I'd like to try Uruguay. Great quality of life, national health care, LGBT friendly. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I'd like to see a lot of different places. Yeah, the purpose of minimum wage was to live off of. That was why it was started. Caused by the government. Nope. Nope. They were not caused by the government. They were caused by capitalism. They were caused by unregulated capitalism. So they were caused by the government, but they were caused by the people in the government who loved capitalism removing regulations. Prove that it's a socialist society right now. Again, you use words, but that's like saying that the country or the government that was in charge of Germany in the 1930s was what they called themselves. They weren't. They were an authoritarian government that called themselves something else. Why not increase minimum wage to $60 an hour then? If the cost of living required $60 an hour, then they should. If it required $60 an hour to be able to survive, then they should. Living wage is different from region to region. Yes. And that's what happens with unregulated capitalism. Again, we can't just, there's no such thing as an easy answer to the problem, in the sense of you can't just put a minimum wage up to one thing and say, oh, that's going to fix all of our problems, because we have unregulated capitalism. You would rather have someone be unemployed and not make any money at all. They wouldn't be unemployed. You seem to forget that people that are making money will spend money, which means these companies, by their very nature, would be bringing in more money. Again, because of the way capitalism has become right now, would it be very difficult, especially for small business owners? Absolutely it would. Absolutely it would. There are other things that would need to happen in order to make it work, because of what we as a society have allowed to happen. But when they started minimum wage, we were, in terms of a society that was able to thrive, America was at its best. We had a very strong minimum middle class. We had much smaller disparity between the bottom and the top. Businesses like Walmart and Amazon should never exist. Correct. Minimum wage absolutely does work. Minimum wage doesn't work when you don't raise the minimum wage to the cost of living. Minimum wage should not be more than $6 US. Ghost, are you still here? Please get rid of him. I'm done with this conversation. He's not talking in good faith anymore. There's no... I was willing to talk for a while, but that was just some states still have the $7.25 minimum wage. Oh, I'm totally for having letting the conversation happen. So you mentioned minimum wage should be a living wage for any full-time job. So what part-time get? You still get the same per hour wage, you just get less hours. The actual like, that's just working less. Toilet paper and beef shouldn't be more than minimum wage. Seriously. I should be the leader? No, thank you. What do I pay the neighbor kid to mow my lawn 12 times over the summer? A living wage per hour of work. Who should lead us? Women. No, thank you, Shawnee. I appreciate the sentiment, though. Which one? I'm sorry, I haven't met all women in the world. I can't make that determination. But they want to exploit said neighbor kid, obviously. Right. Again, I don't know all the women in the world, so I can't make that determination. I'll have to see who runs. I pay the neighbor kid $60 to mow mine, takes 2 hours. $30 an hour? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in the end, I'm not. Here's the thing, especially in today's day and age, if we're talking about everyone making a minimum a cost of living, then I think it wouldn't be quite as necessary to pay kids under that aren't adults a living wage, because the assumption would be that their family is able to survive. Right now, I think not paying a kid who's potentially doing work to help their family survive, they need to be paid well too. Correct. You're right, Rosa. Why are we talking about people mowing lawns like it's not a valid line of work? Yes, we pay companies to mow our lawns, and they should make living wages. So why can't a kid? Age should not be a determining factor. I agree with you, Rosa. This is not what we know in the Bible, because the Lord is very clear.
This is not what we know in the Bible because the Lord is very clear that men are the head and rule. The Bible was written during the patriarchy, and women had no rights, and I want that to continue.
Oh, the Vader voice? Sorry.
This is not what we know about the Bible in the Bible, because the Lord is very clear that men are the head and rule.
Thank you, Tiny Divas. Also, the Bible doesn't apply to government. Correct. But I also don't believe the Bible is right in that respect. Yep. Correct, CJ. Hire which one? Whichever you want. You just made a new recipe, carrot cake oatmeal? Hell yeah. Just went to a baseball game the other day, and the peanut vendor asked me if I wanted to leave him a tip. Wait till he sees a lot of religious scholars believe God has no gender. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I doubt God planned to give power to abusive men. I would have left him a tip. That's hard work going up and down those stadium stairs all game. I mean, again, they should get paid a living wage. Every job, if it is full-time work, they should make full-time money. If it's part-time work, they still should be making the hourly wage for a living wage. They just might have to get another part-time job to make a living wage. Yankee Stadium beer vendor top seniority are making 100K plus working 81 games. Okay. Good for them. That is not how you get great service. You should not be tipping service street industry people. Everyone should get living wages, and there should be no tipping. That's bullshit, Stellar. That's bullshit. That is a short-sighted and dumbass perspective. Tips are almost exclusively an American thing. Yep. I'm okay with tipping servers. I used to make a lot of money as a server. Yeah, well, they aren't making a lot of money anymore. Well, no, there's no tax on tips. There is tax on tips. Still get taxed. Good morning. They do pretty well where I work. 40 to 60 an hour. Uh-huh. Okay. People who aren't servers are now asking for tips. People are trying to make money any way they can so they can pay their bills. So, yeah, I'm against tipping culture because no one should be tipped and everyone should get a living wage. For every job that is necessary in society. If people need to eat, then the cooks and the servers and the cleaners, the things that all make a business run, I'm not going to tip you for handing me a coffee through the window. Well, you wouldn't have a coffee if they didn't hand it to you through the window. If you raise wage for servers, food prices go up. If everyone makes a living wage and they made the coffee, without them didn't matter how much money you threw at them, they would not have it. You would not have coffee if they were not there making it. If everyone made a living wage, then everyone would also be spending more money, which means they could afford the prices. They aren't waiting on you. Of course they are. They're handing you a cup of coffee that you asked for. They're making it possible for you to not have to do it yourself. Yes, it is. That's literally what it is. That's all you are doing as a server is facilitating their purchase. A waiter is literally just facilitating your purchase. No, 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 you're incorrect. Just because you're sitting in a car at a coffee shop or in a restaurant, it doesn't change the fact that you're walking up, they're making an order, they're going and getting it and giving it to you. Tell me how that's different than a person with a coffee. It's wild. Thanks, Shug. If you're not making it and getting it yourself, you're being served. Correct. Correct. Truck stop have awesome coffee and it's self-serving. And there you go. You don't got to tip anybody. Yes, that was a pretty that was a pretty bad name. This is why everyone should have to work in a service industry job. I think it's important that everyone gets some experience in all different kinds of jobs. That doesn't mean that everyone is good, their personality is right for every single job, but I think it's important that and again, this is why we need to stop with the tipping thing and just give everyone a living wage. If you're a bad waiter or waitress, then you get fired because someone else will come and take the job because they get a living wage. Well, guaranteed increases annually. It would be just like minimum wage was designed to be. It's connected with the cost of living. As long as you are getting paid what's necessary to live, minimum, correct. I'm fine with tipping as an unexpected bonus, but it shouldn't be required to live. Correct. Oh, yeah. I mean, again, people that say like working in a grocery store is easy and doesn't deserve the kind of pay it gets has obviously never stocked shelves in a grocery store. Like, that is not an easy job for anybody. Who shop the orders, work hard, use their own car, and the offer money is peanuts. Yep. I literally put 200 miles every day on my car minimum. Yep. I was a line cook in high school, college, and it was hard, but made me some amazing friends. Correct. People have a false equivalent to a job that doesn't take a lot of training to be good at, as in not worth being paid the same, or not worth being paid, or not having the same level of value as one that takes more training. Again, there's a that's the difference between capitalism and a society where we're all working for the betterment of society. If we as a society can agree that people doing things that we need them to do are important parts of being in a society, then they should all get paid. Our jobs shouldn't define our worth, Rosa. That is true. That human capital theory, it's dangerous. Yep. Stop looking down on people who are literally making your life work. Yep. I'm back. Had to make a phone call. No worries, Lisa. Welcome back. Another reminder to guys, tonight, 7:30 Eastern time, we're doing a premiere episode release over on the tube. I interviewed Jasmine Thomas, who's running for Senate in Oklahoma, but we talked about some things that are going on TikTok that she as a politician and multiple others are dealing with, and kind of using it as a call to action for people that want some change. But we talked about a bunch of different things that are going on. So please, if you are around and available, 7:30 Eastern time, make sure you're over there. Both of us will be live in the chat, and we'll also be talking. So what is that, 3:30? That would be 4:30. You're 3 hours difference than East Coast, I think, Ghost. Unless I was losing my mind, which was definitely a possibility. No, you're good. You're good, dude. Now I have to go adult again. I know, it's 12. All right, guys, I gotta go head out. I got an interview in an hour, so I gotta get some lunch. Thank you for all the likes, the shares, the gifts, the super chats over on the tube. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll see you. Hopefully, I'll see a lot of you tonight. I think it'll be a great. I think it'll be a great video, and I think it'll be a great time. We'll talk about it. Hopefully, we'll have some other people that are running for office in the chat too that we can talk with, which would be great. Yeah. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Hope you guys get out, touch some grass, get some vitamin E. And I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. You guys are amazing just the way you are, and I love you all very much. Stay safe, stay healthy. Remember to sing, laugh, dance, smile. Do something that makes you happy. Bye, guys. Tube of You, 7 p.m. EST.